All right, hi again. So I'm gonna talk about an interesting and exciting feature. It is still under development, but still exciting all the same. So you have a document. Embedded in the document, you have some interesting multimedia. Typically, it's going to be some video clip, maybe some demo. That you could have audio clips as well for illustrative purposes. Basically, any extension that is interactive multimedia. And obviously, you would want to see all of that in the online version on the browser. The problem is, as Michael was mentioning, you definitely wouldn't want to render every single frame and send it to the user or users, because that wouldn't be very productive, let alone good user experience. So instead, what you want to do, you want to leverage a browser's ability to decode and display and play back all the wonderful formats that are available and supported. So what we want to do, ideally, is we want to be able to extract the multimedia file and somehow transport it to the browser. That's the basic idea. And what we want, ultimately, for the user to be able to interact with the embedded media, meaning they can play it back, stop it, maybe change the time and so on. We would like, as I said, to leverage all the browser's ability. And that might imply that there might be some limitations if the document has a format that is, encoded in a codec that is not widely available or needs licensing, the browser doesn't support it, etc., then they will be out of luck. However, that's, I think, a reasonable compromise. We would also love for the user to be able to resize, move, drag, basically the media, like any image, like anything else, because this is fully editable document, and the multimedia, embedded multimedia is part of the document, and we would like to support all of that. So the implementation is split into two main parts. The UI part, who Shimon is working on, who has presented the JS dialog work. Basically the idea there is for the client side in the browser to receive some JSON information describing the multimedia content that is available in a document, with the position, with the URL, how to reach to the actual data, the size, and any other attributes that might be relevant. All of that is transmitted to the browser. Within the browser, what we need to do, we need to build some HTML elements. Primarily, we are going to use some SVG embedding, which has all the necessary controls that we would like to have. It gives us basically flexibility to do all of this dynamically, which is what we need because we also want to be able to delete said file if the user selects and deletes it, and in the future, obviously, insert other media elements as well. So all of this needs to be supported by the server side. The backend, which is done in cool WSD. This is the server half of it, which I'm working on. And the idea here is simply to, first of all, recognize the media elements that are embedded in the document whilst loading the document. So because obviously you want to be ready with all the elements as soon as you render the pages in the browser. So at load time, we need to collect this information to know what is available, and we need to cache all of this information because whenever a new user connects to the document, they need to receive all of this information at load time, right? So we need to have that at the ready. We need to also extract the media file itself, right? Ultimately, what we want to do is we want to stream the data to the user and their browser separately from the document itself. We do not want to have this in any way basically entangled with the tiles or other document elements. We also need to make this independent and secure in the sense that the URL has to be visible from outside. The browser should be able to directly access the media stream through a URL that is a URL on the same server but we need to reference the document in question, and we need to have all sorts of security tokens to make it both unique and obviously hard to spoof or recreate. Finally, we need to support serving this media file. So the server has to now act as an endpoint via said public URL, so that whenever the browser requests streaming the data, we would be able to provide that as necessary on the fly. So this is roughly the basic idea, and I will need now to show you a demo, Pedro, which Shimon kindly created for us. So it's right here. Yep. So this is a slide that has an embedded video, and as you can see, it's already highlighted, and the user is able to change the volume and change the position of the playback. And as necessary, the user can resize it and get the same interactive experience as they would expect with any video in their browser.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's